Hey everyone, I'm Kevin Bartlett.
And I'm Christine Strauss, and this is The Real Deal with Baird & Warner, where we cover all things real estate.
For buyers, sellers, renters, investors, and fellow agents. Before we introduce our guest for today, let's take a quick look at the market activity over the past weekend.
Absolutely. Great, Kevin. So the listings and on the sell side, we saw a slight increase this weekend, which is great. So we still need more inventory overall. Buyers are still out there, but definitely progress from where we were last weekend.
On the buyer side, we actually saw a decrease. We haven't seen a lot of those recently. Still, it sounds like a broken record here, but we are still way above where we were last year, so keep that in mind. But we did see a decrease in buyers outlook in this past weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, today with us, we have Bill Gill. So thanks, Bill, for being with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So Bill, he is our fearless leader here at the Naperville office. He manages hundreds of agents, which again, I think really goes to prove our point of why we are number one in Naperville. So great job, Bill, for guiding us to that victory.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. So we're really looking forward to chatting with you today about this topic. Basically, why is your home not selling? It's a good topic for sellers that may have had their home on the market for a little bit and are wondering what to do. Why is my home not selling?
Yeah, I'll tell you, this is a hot button topic for me. What absolutely drives me crazy is the article upon article upon article that says the 5 reasons your home won't sell, the 7 reasons your home won't sell, the 11 reasons. At the end of the day, there's only one reason your home won't sell, and that's price. I know that sounds a little controversial. We'll dive into that a little deeper. Just for frame of reference, I've been in real estate over 30 years, and this is basically what I've done my adult working life. So it's a topic I'm somewhat familiar with.
Okay. So we'll say that your opinion is legitimate on that topic.
Thank you.
So first off, does it matter if you're a seller? Does it matter the time of year or kind of the market conditions, or is it just price no matter the time of year or anything else going on in the market?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's certainly a seasonality to our market, although this year in the wake of COVID-19, the seasonality has been, kind of thrown out the window.
Sure.
It's been very different. However, at any point in time in the market, and really the real estate broker's job is to sit down with the seller and find out when they want to move, why they want to move, what's most important to them, what they do or do not want to do, and to prepare their home. And at any market, the price ultimately is the reason why it won't sell. If the home is not priced in a place that's compelling to what the buying public wants, then it just isn't going to sell, right? There's a speaker who used to say you could spend $1 billion with a B, and if in marketing and advertising, and if the property was just priced way above what the market could bear, it's just not going to sell. End of story.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely.
Very true. So I know we were talking about some other things. Of course, price being the huge one here, and
Sure.
we can certainly see that. So what about these other features, though, that we see a lot of sellers talk about, like condition, market, what the time that they're hitting the market, seasonality, kind of mentioned before. So what about some of those pieces? How do you counter that?
Yeah, so the first thing is at any point in time when a seller's ready and we understand when they want to go on the market, we look at what's happening in the market at that point in time. We right now, especially in the wake of COVID-19, no ability to predict the future. I don't know what spring's going to look like, if it's going to be slower, faster, same. But if someone was interested in coming on today, what we would do is look at the properties that they would be competing with and position their property to be compelling. Right now, so what's going to happen is when we bring a property to market. As you two both do so well. When we bring that to market, and you're going to know kind of right away what's going to happen. Either A, you're going to get no showings at all, which means you're so far over what the buying public's expecting, they don't even want to darken the doorway.
Right.
2, you'll get a lot of people to show up, and I would say a lot being, say, 7 to 10 in the first 14 days. That would be a good number. And no one's interested in writing an offer, which means you're still priced a little too high, but we're pretty close. Or You put the home on the market, you get a lot of showings, you get that 7 to 10 showings in the first 2 weeks, and the property goes under contract, and then you know you've picked the right price. So at any point in time, once you do that, let's say you get to that 14-day period, I always say a seller has absolutely 3 choices. I had a program I've written called 3 Weeks, 3 Choices. And you'd say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, the agent's job is to go to that seller and say, listen, I'm at this point, we're not seeing that the market is voting, casting their dollar vote in your direction.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have to do is one of 3 things. You can be patient, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, and wait for the right person to come along. 3-4 months ago, I would say, patience was a great option because actually we saw an increase in appreciation in pricing. Today, based on your comments and the update, it's slowing down a little bit. So I'm not seeing that upward pressure on pricing as there was. So today might not be the best time to be patient. The second thing is so first the seller could be patient. Second, the seller could make changes to their offering. And I saw Penny's presentation. She did a great job on picking all the colors and the light fixtures and the colors that sell. And yes, that's absolutely something you could do. You could make your home be more in line with what the clients are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
However, the caution there is what the client's really saying, the buyers are really saying is, hey, based on the price you're asking, I'm not willing to go in and paint the walls gray. I'm not willing to go in and paint the cabinets white. I'm not willing to do that because I think you're asking too much money, and that's going to take my time and effort.
Yep.
So the seller could elect to do those things to make it more compelling with market.
Mm-hmm.
Or the third thing is they can certainly lower the price. And I recommend that, again, I used to say every 10 showings or 21 days.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm saying, and it's still a pretty fast market, I would say, and I used to say lower than 3% every 10 showings or 21 days. I'm now saying 1.5% every 10 days.
Okay.
If a seller's really serious about selling, they want to get it moved.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
So what if these options aren't an option for them?
Yeah, that's a great question. Unfortunately, those are the only 3 choices. And I'm reminded of a gentleman many years ago who I would come into my office, and we would spend about 10 minutes talking through each of those 3 choices, and he'd tell me why he absolutely couldn't do any of those 3 choices.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would go back through those and spend 10 minutes again. I think I had to do 2 or 3 cycles on 2 different meetings.
Oh, no.
Each time I said, listen, okay, so you've got 3 bad choices, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Which of these 3 choices is the least offensive to you, for lack of a better word? And in his case, it was price. And when we got to the right price, I called the strike price or the compelling price, the home sold.
Okay.
There you go.
That is so good to know. And so kind of piggybacking off of that a little bit, as agents, what is our role in this process to kind of get them there?
That is a great question. The role of the agent is to apprise them on what's happening in the market,
Mm-hmm.
right? To accumulate as much information about competing properties, of what's selling, of what's not selling, the why, finding out did the buyer buy something else, if you can. Not all agents are cooperative, but finding all that information and going back to the seller and saying, here's what we've learned, but what do you want to do, Mr. and Mrs. Seller?
Right.
I always love the ones who say, you know what, I'm just going to be patient, and I don't care if I have to die in the house. And I'm thinking, wow, that's really patient. Okay.
That's about as patient as you can be.
Right?
Yeah, I would say.
Fair enough.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Oh, well, very good, Bill. Thank you so much for sharing these tips with us today.
Definitely.
I really love those 3 points to bring up, and I think a lot of the agents listening in can benefit and help their sellers with that too. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate being here.
Thank you.
Very good. And if you need to find Bill, or if you have any other follow-up questions regarding this, feel free to find him here at our Naperville Baird & Warner office. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Christine Strauss.
And I'm Kevin Bartlett. Catch us next time to hear about the real deal.